This will start the lecture notes for Chapter 10, and in Chapter 10 we're going to look at earthquakes. In Section 1 we're going to look at how and where earthquakes occur. And an earthquake is a shaking of Earth's crust caused by a release of energy. Most earthquakes are caused by strain builds up along faults at or near boundaries between lithospheric plates. This graphic looks at a typical fault, and most earthquakes will originate along these fault or plate boundaries. The epicenter, one of the vocab words we're going to look at, is the point on the Earth's surface directly above the focus, and the focus is the origin of an earthquake underground, usually at the boundary or at the point where the earth is cracked or broken. And once again, the focus occurs underground, the origin of the earthquake, and the epicenter is the point on the surface that we point to as the origin of an earthquake. Earthquakes produce surface waves. Surface waves in the form of P waves, which means primary waves, and S waves, or secondary waves, and also body waves, love waves, and Rayleigh waves. And the love waves, guys, it's named after a guy by the name of Love. What these look like, we get compression, expansion in compression, and particle motion, or the primary waves travel along the wave in the wave direction. Secondary waves travel perpendicular to the direction of the waves, and by that I mean if this wave is traveling in this direction, the particle motion, as indicated here, is up and down. Okay, perpendicular to the wave direction. These are S waves, or secondary waves. The vocab for Section 1, an earthquake, again, the shaking of the Earth's crust caused by a release of energy. A fault is a break in the lithosphere along which movement has occurred. The focus is a point at which the first movement occurs during an earthquake, and remember, it's underground usually. The epicenter is a point on the surface directly above the focus of an earthquake. Body waves are waves of energy that travel from the focus of an earthquake through the material of Earth's body. P waves and S waves are two types of body waves. P waves are body waves that squeeze and stretch rock material as they pass through Earth, also known as compressional waves or primary waves. And again, they travel in the direction of the wave, kind of like if you think of a slinky, that when you pull on a slinky and it moves back and forth. These are P or primary waves. S waves, this is if you were to take a slinky and shake it up and down, the direction of movement is this way, but S waves travel perpendicular to that wave. Body waves that cause particles of rock material to move at right angles to the direction in which the waves are traveling, they're known as shear waves or secondary waves. Surface waves are earthquake waves that travel along Earth's surface. Love waves and Rayleigh waves are two types of surface waves. This concludes the lecture for Section 1, and Section 2 will follow.